Welcome back to Infused Moods. I am your main host, Imani, and I'm so happy that you decided to join me today for another round of fabulous conversation. So before we get into that, I have to keep with the traditional opener, of course, and let you know what I am drinking on today. All right. We're about our skincare goals. I'm really trying to take in as much water as I possibly can. So I have mixed about 3 flavors of Crystal Light together, like a quarter of each pack. And I think it's the peach mango green tea, the lemon iced tea, and I want to say I might have pink lemonade in there, but don't quote me. Basically, try this out for yourself and just mix different flavors together in Crystal Light if you like it, just so your water can have a different flavor and you don't get tired of just drinking water every day. And let me know what you think. And Crystal Light, if you're listening, get at me. We may have something on our hands. I don't know, but we can talk about it. And I'm going to infuse that mystery drink with 3 songs. First is Mind Your Business by Lakeyah. Second is First Quarter by Denzel Curry. And third is N95 by Kendrick Lamar. And the reason I chose these 3 songs is because I feel that they fit the mood or our topic, which will be on Roe V Wade, very, very well. And I think it captures the sentiments of a lot of people who were shocked yesterday when the ruling came down from the Supreme Court, and we're going to dive into that. So again, those 3 songs, that's hitting my mood. Let's dive in. Back in May, there was an initial draft leak of the Supreme Court decision to strike down Roe v. Wade. Many were outraged at that time and began protests to try and stop this, and unfortunately, we learned yesterday that was not enough. Roe v. Wade has been in existence for 50 years, but Justice Samuel Alito felt that the 1973 ruling had exceptionally weak arguments and was an abuse of authority. So, the Supreme Court has turned the abortion rights back over to the states in their ruling in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization. What does this mean? The Supreme Court has effectively overturned the precedent set in Roe v. Wade, which means that states will now decide abortion legality. What states are impacted? 13 states have trigger laws in place that were crafted to go in effect with the fall of Roe, and that already has happened. Arkansas, Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming. There are 16 states and DC which still have protection for your abortion rights. That's California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. What kind of bans could be implemented now that Roe is overturned? I got this information from So Informed, and I'm usually kind of skeptical about taking information from social media, but I try to look for accounts that are credible and that have credible sources and that are actually trying to educate instead of harm. These are the following bans that are now in play. Pre-Roe bans, abortion bans that were passed before Roe was decided in 1973. Trigger bans, as we just discussed, the abortion bans created to go into effect upon Roe being overturned. Pre-viability gestational bans, laws that prohibit/ban abortion before a fetus is viable. Method bans, laws that ban specific methods of abortion. And reason bans, laws that ban abortion if sought for a specific reason. A thing of note, self-managed bans are also up on the table. That's the criminalization of self-managed abortion. So Informed also let us know who will be most impacted by Roe being overturned. That's people of color, those with low incomes, the disabled community, the LGBTQ plus community, immigrant communities, young people, and other marginalized individuals in communities across the country will be most impacted by Roe being overturned. More than half of the states in the U.S. have restricted access to abortion as it is. Overturning Roe will create a reality in which even more restrictions and outright bans are implemented. More than half of the nation's Black population lives in the South, where abortion access is already heavily restricted as it is. Both Hispanic and Indigenous populations also hold a significant presence in restricted states. With Roe being overturned, pregnant people in states that outlaw abortion completely will be forced to travel further than they already have to with any existing restrictions just to access care. Given that many low-income families don't have the means to travel, this creates even more of a barrier to care. Now, the court's decision to overturn Roe marks the first time in the history of the U.S. that the court has taken away a constitutional right. Eliminating the right to abortion now puts other rights protected by the 14th Amendment at risk. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. That's a lot for everyone to have taken in. And yesterday, I opened the floor. I said, hey, if you need the space, if you need the time, and you want to talk about this, let's talk about it. And I had a lot of conversations with people, asked them if they would like their views shared. A lot felt that it was just enough just talking with me, and that's more than fine. I'm pretty sure there will be more people having conversations outside of this. Some people right now do not know what to say, and that is okay. And some people are fine with yesterday's ruling, and that is okay. We are all entitled to our opinion. We are entitled to our beliefs, but I feel very strongly about this because we have to fight for those who do not have a voice, and we have to be on the side of human rights. And I don't feel like this is going to help anyone or be on the right side of history. It impacts too many communities, and it impacts too many people that I know, and it probably impacts way too many people that you know, listener, or people around you know. And I feel right now more than ever, we need to provide the sense of community and know that this is going to be an everyday fight, an everyday battle to just get things back on track so that we are protecting human rights. I know we are tired, especially those who are in my age range, because it feels unfair. And I think that's why I was very upset when a lot of this was coming down yesterday, because it feels like we're going backwards, like almost like we traveled through time in the history books. And it's just a lot to be dealing with in my 20s. It's a lot to have to witness in my 20s, and coming off the heels of a pandemic that really isn't over. It feels very daunting and bleak, but I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic on what's to come. I'm optimistic that there is a change happening, and that we will be on the right side of history, that we can help those around us and build our communities up and pour the love and support back into our communities and in ourselves, because we do have to remember we need to take breaks too. Too much is happening in the media, too much is happening on social media, and it's okay to just step back and turn your phone off, to not look at the news, to not go on the internet, to not be a part of the hate that's being expressed online. You can check out from it and then revisit at a time when you feel like you can stomach it, or that you're strong enough to just look at it. Because I think for me, and when I started looking into the statistics, it became very dark as I saw that this issue is essentially just banning safe abortions and safe practices for reproductive systems. And of the states that have banned abortion, it impacts 19.4 million women. That's just women. We're not even getting into the numbers of people who have reproductive systems, people who are able to become pregnant, because it's not just the standard gender of female. And the assumptions that we have been making, either, in haste, or, just the fact that we're still educating ourselves, because I'm still learning, I'm still educating myself. They're just assumptions that we just need to stop because they're harmful, and that one of the female gender can get pregnant is one of them. Also, another assumption is that all people want kids. That is not true. And now we are forcing people who end up pregnant to give birth